So now you can see it's being recorded. Yes, I think you see a signal there saying it's recorded. Now this system has two advantages, as I said. One is help with the database. Your student will have access to cloud-based database where they can create databases, they can create tables, they can use the queries and enter the data and everything from a web browser. So if they connect today from this computer, they have everything. If they go home and have a different computer, they will have the same thing. If they want to go even through their mobile devices, they will get to the same tables and queries and things they created. That's one thing. The other beauty of it, you can create apps for any device. So if you work on one app and you create it, it reads from database, so you can create a form, you query the database, you insert data, you delete, you edit, you do some database stuff. And then that app you create, you can export it for Apple, for Android, for HTML5, for Windows 8. It means you create only one, you can export it to everyone. And you send it to all these different Google Play and app stores and all these different things. And it's logical, easy to use, in my opinion. We'll go through that one, you will see. I'll give you a demo, and then we will think how we can benefit from this one, where we can use it. I was thinking this course you're teaching is one of it. Maybe there's other course. Maybe it has to be just only some learning outcomes of this course. I'm open to all of it. But the advantage, it gets the student interested because they can see what they are really working with. It's accessible from everywhere. It gets them into the apps development. And with little skills, they can create apps that really can compete in the government easily with no big challenge. So let's go through the system. The company called Appery.io. There are many of these companies. The difference between this one and others, this one has a back-end database to support it. And you can read and write from any database. If you have your own database, you also can do that. Also, it has a server side where you can go and create your own scripts, which you can run it for your applications later. It works with different plugins and different websites. You can join for free. If you go for the free one, you can do one app only. And with that app, you can create 3 screens. And you can do whatever you want to do with the database. There is no problem with the database, but the screens and the app. If you need more, we have an account which we can provide you with access to that one. I think the free is enough for the teaching. Once you create that app, you can delete it and create another app if you want. I'm going to log in using my login details to the app, to the website. The beauty, again, is on a website. I don't need to install anything on my computer. If I work here, I go home, I can find the same thing. Also, if I create an app, I want to share it with someone else. We work together as a team. I can link him to that one and becomes a team project and give you some statistics of what I did, what he did, what other people did. It's very useful. Now we are in the system. There are, as you can see, 6 main tabs. This one where you can create your apps, you manage what you already created. The other one is your database. You create the database, the tables, the primary keys, and all these different things you do with the database. This is a server code where you can create some special code that you want to run in your servers if you need. The rest is a way to communicate between your database and your applications, which we'll come to it later. Plugins, there are hundreds of plugins that connect to big companies like Google, like Facebook, like Best Buy, all these things, what they call it, PayPal. You just plug it here and you can connect it. Also, if you create an app, later you can save it as a plugins, so you can reuse it later if you want to reuse it. Now let's go one by one. Let's create an app. So click on create new app. You just give it a name. We'll call something my address book. Okay, we'll create a basic address book. I'll click on create. Now it will move me to the platform where I start doing the creation of the apps. Takes few minutes to load. Once it's loaded, then you can do whatever you want to do. If you have on your phone, if you have a phone, we can test this app just now, which we're going to create. You will see it running on your phone without any installation as well. Now, when we get here, these are the things. There's the project where you can get the settings of your project. You can get some global variables and session variables. We'll come to it. Here you have the pages. Let's go one by one. The pages, this is the main page you have. Lesson page we have here. When you click on it, you have a header here, which is the captions. You can change this one to say address book, addresses. Okay, whatever. There's a footer here. You can change the name, and you have the body here. We can work. I can here add a list, for example. This is the list here, and add it there. Now, because I'm going to read from the database, I don't need the 3 items. I need only 1 item. So I can change this one to 1. And then later my database, if I have 100 records, it will come 100. If it's 1, it will come 1. So I just change that one. Okay. Now I can test this interface now by clicking on test. Now, if you want to test it in your phone, you need to click here and make it public. Okay. Now let me do the test. There is nothing in this app, it's just the interface, which we created. We just started. Once you do this, I think it's coming here, and this is how it looks like. Few seconds, you will get the list and everything there. That's how it looks like. Now you can test it from your phone now. If you scan this barcode, QR code, if you have in your phone a QR reader, you can download it free. QR reader, just scan this one. You will find the same app is running in your phone. So any changes I make here, you can see it in the phone. Phone, iPad, Galaxy, all these different devices, it will work if you have your QR code. Who has a QR code on his phone? It's free, you just download that one. Try to scan this one and accept it. Now it will come. That will help me later in the test when we start testing more and more. Is it working? Put your thumb up if it's working. Oh, it's working. I can see a number of you already have it in the phone. Let's go back and work on our app. Okay, back to the development platform. Now we need to create a database. The databases, you find it from here. If you click on this one, now if you have your screen a little bit bigger, you make it big. Sometimes this one will come on the screen here. I think if I make space, just want you to see how. Anyway, you click here and go to the database. Now it will take me to the back end of this company or the service where I can create databases. Here I can create a new database. I'll call it address book. Okay, I'm missing one D. Okay, that's the database I created. Now I'm in the database. Now I can start doing tables. The tables here, they do not call it tables, they call it collection. Just another way to call the table, yeah? But by default, there are some tables already there. There is one users, and this I can use it to create login screen. So people can log in, can reset the password, can create new users. I can do that later using this one. This is done by the default. It has a username, password, and some keys. We'll come to it. Let's create one, call it contact. A collection called contacts. Now it's going to be created. By default, it does create 4 fields for you. One is the ID, which automatic the primary key. Every time you insert, it adds. The access control, which you can use it to make more control, who can access, who cannot access. You have also two important, one is created at and updated at. This is good for the auditors who will look at the database, ensure the integrity is right, and look at when it's created, things like that. Now we can add few more fields to this one. Usually the field, we call it column. We'll click here, and let's add here name, full name, we'll call it. Full name, it's type of string. There are many other types, we'll just go with the string. Okay, then it's added, let's add another one, phone. Okay, phone, whatever. We'll keep it string just for the simplicity of the thing, but later we can manage the inputs and make it comes in a special format. Now this is the table I created. I can create more other tables as I need. Now I can go back to my, no, let me add some data into this one. So let's add a row here, add one called Hamad Odhabi, but his number is 0506624781. Add another one, call it Ahmad, no, let's use someone else, John Little, or John Allen, or Allen John we used to have. Okay, and his number is 056123465 Yeah, something like that. This is not a real number, don't call this guy. Now we added two records in it. We'll go back to our application. Now how we can get this coming here as interface? There are a few steps we need to do. One is we need to create a connections between this form and the database. We do this from here. We call it service. If you click on create new, there are many things we can create. We can create another page. We have now the start page. This one, we can create another. We can create a dialog box. We can create a theme, all these different things. We need to create a database service. So I'll click on database service. Search for which database I'm using. This is the one I'm using now. Which table I'm working with, or collection, I'm working with contact. Now what I want to do with that, there's so many things. Let's do one by one. We'll start by the list. List, just you list the data you have in that table. We can, later we'll do create, we'll do update, we'll do delete, we'll do all these things. Let's go one by one. Once I click there, this will be added here. There are two things added here. One is a list service, and the other one is the settings of my database. This one will be there always. Every time I create a new one, it will add this one. Now this is what we have. The settings already in place. I can do a quick test on it, and I'll see the data is working. Yeah. Now, still this data just in the test, we need to make sure they come here. So that one step, we want to create new, and we created a database service using the database I need. Now, how I can get it here? Each page, this start screen page, has two things. One is design, one is data. Now, design, you just design. Data, you do the data connection. Now, I need to create a service. And which service I'm using this one, which this one here. I'm using this. So I'm going to create one service. Let's give it a name, list contacts. Naming it is not essential, but always help you to understand your variables and later use them. Now that four things for each one is before, before you use it when you send data to the database. You send the data there. Success, you use it when you get data from the database. In this case, we're just retrieving data from the database. I'm going to put a screen. So I need to use success. So I click on mapping. Mapping will help me now map the form components, which I have only one, which is the list, to the database query. So I'm going to the mapping. Now in the mapping, always good to expand everything here, expand everything here. There are two sides. One is our service, response service, which getting the data, and the other one is our page design. In the page, we have a list, and the list has 5 properties. We will be using only the text. So what I will do now, I need to map the name from here to the text here. So get the name from the table, attach it to the text of that list. And because I have records of data, so many data there, and I needed to make a loop and go to the next list and show it, the second list and do it, I need to map this one to the main list. So these are the two things I need to map. So this way it will do a loop and iterate and get me everything. If I do not do this link, it will show only the first record. Now let's save it. So two things we did. One, we created a database service from here. Then the next one, we went to the page, we went to the data, and in the data we created a service using this database service which we have. And then we went into the mapping of success, and we mapped the right database field to the right form field. Okay, so far I think so good. Now how this will come to the screen, we need an event to happen. So what we'll do, we'll click on this main page. We want when the main page is shown on the screen, it will call that service and show the data. So we'll go there to the main and go here and go to the show, page show. Once the page show, then we'll ask it to invoke or call that service. And the only service you have is this one. Okay, so we'll save it. Now we should be ready to test it. We don't need to save it because it will save it by default for you. But once you click on test, it should start. Now it's coming. Now you will see the two lists we have created coming on the screen. And that's how simple it is to do that. You're reading from the table and doing this. Now assume we want to add the new data to this one. Okay, I'm going fast, or the speed I'm in is okay. Do you want me to repeat anything? Just unmute yourself and say, do that.
It's okay.
Okay, so let's do just basic input, adding or creating a new record. So we'll add an input field. We'll add another input field beside it. Now, when you put the input field, there is a way people used to in the mobile, is each one has a placeholder. Here you can see the name. And if I delete this one, let me say contact name, maybe. Contact name. Now, when you run it on the phone, you will see it shaded like this. When you click on it, then you can enter the data. So let's do another one. We call it phone number. Notice that so far I'm using just the normal naming scheme. I'll just minimize this one. This one, for example, the name of the variable is mobile text input. Okay, I can change this one to contact name input, for example. So I can relate to it later. And this one, I can call it phone number. I'm changing my input. Okay. You need to have a consistent naming convention, which I didn't do now, but It's not an issue now. Now, this is there. I need to add a one button here. After this one, put it here, and we'll call it add. Now we can make it a little bit smaller by selecting these two. Also, maybe you can give it a nice icon. Usually in the mobiles, you can see this plus usually means add. So we have this interface is there. What we need now, we need to repeat those three steps. One, we need to go and create a database service to add using the create. Next one, we need to go to the data of the page and create a service. Then map that the field, these two fields here, to the service, and then come here and add an action to this add to call that service. So this is, you keep repeating the same thing most of the time. Now you can do more than that if you want, but let's go to the database service. Again, I'm working on the same address book. Then I'm on the contact. Already this one is selected, so I need to add the create to it. And let's add the update as well, because we'll use it later. And let's add the delete as well. Okay, this we'll need it later, not now, but let's create them from now instead of going back every time and doing this. Now you notice now more coming here. Now what we concern now about is the add. So I'll go to the data and then add a new, make sure this is service. You can see there are two things. One is the service, one is the device. The device will allow you to communicate between devices. You make 2 or 3 or 4 devices talk to each other. And you can send a push message to a device, something comes on the screen. This is a little bit not for today, and it's not for your course. You don't need it. Let's stay with the service. We will go to the create and now add it. I will say add a new contact. You can see I'm horrible in doing this, but anyway. Now we're sending data to the database, so we need to map the before. Now what are we going to map? Expand all, expand all. Now, we need to look at the text field. This is the contact, so the contact should go to the name. The phone number should go to the phone. Very good. What else we have? We need to map the ID, these two. That's it. That's what we need. And it will manage the ID, everything in its own. So we're done with this. See, we don't need to link the main database because there is no loop here. Just one record, you add it, and then you go later and add another record. Let's save this one. So we're done now. And if you noticed, for each one, by default, there are 2 services added. One is before and one is success. Now, when you add a new record, you need to refresh the list. You want this list here to show the new one, isn't it? So in the service of add new, in the success one, we need to call that service, which refresh the list. So what we will do here, we will go to add new, we will select success, and we will call invoke service, and we will call the service list. This one will help us because after adding the data to the record, it will go and refresh this one and show the next one. If you don't do that, it will add it to the database, but it will not come on the list. Now, the service is created, but there's no actions being added. So the action need to be added, or the event, to this button here. So in this button, when it's clicked, we wanted to invoke service. You notice that we're working only with invoke service. Later, if we go more advanced, we will use other services. And which one we need to use? We need to use add. Now, our form should be ready now to add new fields. I'll save it. You don't need to save it, but it's a practice I keep doing. Now my browser has blocks this pop-up. So the first time it doesn't come, the next time you need to go. Now it's there. So let's add. Who do you want to add? We'll add Tayyip Kamali. What do you think? He's not watching us. So his number is 02653. I don't know what his number. Okay. So we'll just add him. You can see he is added. So that's how simple it is just to add the new data to your table. Now, if you scan this one, if you already scanned it, you need to refresh. You will get this app is running in your device. Now, once you finish with the app, let me show you a few more things. Assume now you finished, you created the app, you want to send it to Google Play, and people can download it and install it. Here in the export, you have all these different formats you can export it to Android, Apple, Microsoft Windows 8, Nokia devices, and those things, HTML5, which runs on any of it. If you want to go and do more coding, if you need, although I don't think you need, because you can do all this coding here as well. If you need, you can export it to Xcode, which the official Apple software platform development environment, and also to Google, and then you can do more programming on it. Now, any questions? Okay. I think we're going well. Now, few things maybe when you do this, it's just a practice, it's a process you go through. Now, you can do coding if you want to do coding. You can do very advanced coding using JavaScript and others. You can create your own JavaScript, which will come here, and then you call it to do complex calculations, algorithm, whatever. And when an action happens, you call it and it will do all these things. You can do that. Now let's do one thing. We want to create another page, and we want when the user click on items, it takes him or her to the next page and do further things like deleting, searching, whatever you want to do. So what we can do, we can create a new page from here. What should we call it? We'll call it details. Now the details will be created. So we have two pages. Now our default page, if you go to the settings, you will find the main or start page is starts, but you can change it to become this one. We don't need to do that. But if you want to do that, you can change it from here. You can see the size of your applications. You can change it. There are so many different things. You can add some binaries and keys for your applications if you need. But you don't need to go into this all complications. Now, when you move from one page to other page, always in the web design, on web applications, you need to use some session variables or local variables or things. And this can be created from here. So what we want to do, we want to create one storage variable. You click here. By default, it goes to the model. The model is sort of an object that contains many data. But we're going to use just the storage one. So let's use here, say contact. We'll create a variable called contact ID. Contact ID. Okay, so we'll add it here. Now, when you add it, there are three different storage. One is a local. The local will be saved on your app, in your device, in your phone, or whatever it is the device, and will not be deleted until you delete it, like cookies and things. The session, the lifetime for the session is your application lifetime. If you close your applications, session is gone. The window is attached only to one window. So this you can change, but the local one will work fine. Also, you can choose the type between these types you have. Okay, good. So we created for ourselves one global variables, you can call it, or session variables that we're going to use in our application somewhere. We know where we're going to use it. We will use it when we move from this page to the next page. We need to store the ID, which the ID, are we in the database? Yes. We need to store this one, which the unique number. So you can use it in the other form to search for that record and do whatever we want to do with the record. See, the ID is string here because it is using hexadecimal sort of code to make it really, really unique. Now going back here, what we want to do now, we need to, when you click here, you go to the next one. Now I want to change a little bit my user interface, and I'll repeat something, maybe it can help. I will delete this list. Okay, so to delete anything, it took me some time to find how you delete. You click on it, then you will see small X here, hardly you can see. Then you click on it and you delete. Okay. What I'm thinking to do, I don't want to delete it, but I deleted it. Let me put it back. Okay, and go back and make this one again. Now, apply. I don't know why I deleted it, but I deleted it anyway. Let's remove this item 1 and keep it like that. Inside this one, I want to create 2 labels. The reason is, I'll explain now. Inside the list, you need to be careful to make sure it goes inside the list. So inside the list, yeah. Now why I did this, I wanted to store in the list 2 variables. One is the name of the person, the other one is the ID from the table. And later I send this ID to the global variables and send it to the next page. So this is the technique I'm using. The other way to do it, but this is the one I just practice and I know how to do it. In the label, again, you can remove this one, you don't want it, this one, you don't want it. Now, if we run our application, we will get nothing. Why? Because we deleted all the links between the database. So you need to go back to the data and go back to the mapping service. I need to go back and remap things again. Yeah, which I have done wrong. Let's remove this one now, and let's remove this because I damaged the whole thing. And let's, oh, I am in the wrong one. I did remove the wrong thing. I should be here. Now let's leave this one. We'll come back to this one. We need to fix it. We will fix it later. Let's go to the list now. In the list, I need to change my success, which this one. Now this is important, you keep remembering where you're clicking. The mistake I made, there are 2 services I have. One is the list, one is the ad. I went to the ad and damaged everything and deleted things. Now I need to work on the service. The good thing with this application, when you delete something, it will delete everything related to that one. So it will not crash. You'll find it will work because it will delete reference to anything related to that in your application. So still our application will work fine. Let's delete even this. Okay, let's go to the list. And in the list, as we said, we retrieving data, so we need to work on the success. So here we click and we go and do the mapping again. Now, mapping between our database and our application. Now, in the application, I'm working with the 2 labels. Leave this input because they are not related to the list. I'm working with the mobile list 13. And inside this one, I have label 1 and I have label 2. Label 1 for the name and the label 2 for the ID, which I want to store. So I'm dragging this one here and dragging the ID here. Okay. Now, as we said, we are linking because there is a long list, we have only 2 or 3, maybe now, or 4. We need to link to the main list, so it will go in a loop and do that. I think we are done. Now I want to fix my add new, which good, will repeat the same thing. With the add new, we work with adding a new service. So we'll click here. Well, this is before the action is invoke. Let's delete the whole thing here so we do not confuse ourselves. And let's add a new service called create. This is the new service. Now we'll call it create add contacts. Okay, I'm fixing what I damaged. So click on the mapping here, and in the mapping, we're doing 2 things. The input for the name goes to the name. The input for the number goes for the phone number. And that's it. The other thing, as we said, we need to call the other service after we add. So we'll go here and say with the success one, we will invoke the service list. Now you see the sequence here is important. Which number one? You have 2 success, one here and one this. This one is not needed, but created by default, but we added nothing in it. And the other one is here. Now you need sometime to be sure which one should run first. Now it doesn't make any difference, but if you look at the application later, we'll find the situation we need to do. Now back to here. I think on the add, which we created, you notice it's gone. On the add, we need to invoke the service add new. Okay. Now we should be ready to do 2 things. See 2 things. One is if you go here, we will see the name here and the ID number. Later, I want to hide this one because the user should not see this one. What I'll do, I'll make it not visible. Yeah, we'll do it later. We'll see now how this application will come on the screen. Okay. You see, each list now has 2 things. Now, as we said, we don't need to have the ID. So we'll go back and make this one hidden and then test it. And then sometimes I'm lazy, small things I don't want to fix, like this pop-up things. Anyway, so this one, it comes fine. But in fact, there are 2 things in each one of this. One is the ID of that record, which hidden, and the other one is the name. Now, let's continue. Now we want to navigate to the next page. When someone click here, it takes them to the details. That's easy. You go here and you come into the actions. See, sometimes this is hidden from you. You don't see it. You need to click only here. Click here and see when you click, we need to navigate to page. Which page? You have only 1 page. That's it. So now it will go when we run it on the to the second page. I'm sorry. Now it will do nothing when it goes to the second page because we have nothing there. We can start filling it now. What we can do, we can show there the details of the 2 the contacts we have. So what we will do here, go to the details. Let's add input 1 and input 2. This one we'll call it, where is the placeholder here? Name, just name. And remove this one. And this one we'll call it phone number. And then what we can do as well, maybe you can add a button here. And if you want to update it, we'll call it update. Okay, update. And we can also do that. Put an icon. I don't know, this one maybe. That's it. So that's what will happen. Now, how we can get the data coming here? As you expect, we will run that query one and find it. But we need to pass that variables first, the global variables to here. So this form would know we're looking for this specific ID, which we're looking for. So we'll go back here, and here what we need to do. When you click on this one, it does go to the next page, but we need to add another service. When you click, we want it to set the global variables, storage variables. We have only one here, and want to bind it to which data? To label 2. Now it will store whatever in this here into the variable contact ID. So I can go in the next page and use it. Now save it. Now this is important now. Which one should happen first? It should do this before this. So now it's in reverse. So number one should set the variables, then go to the next page. Because if it goes to the next page before setting the variables, then that variables will not be there. So you go there, you don't find it. So the sequence is important here. So this is done now. Let's just go to the next form. Let's do a simple thing here to just make sure that variables is really passed to here. What I need to do, when the page is loaded, I'll add an action here. When that page is shown on the screen, show page show, I want to set property. Which property I want to do? I want to make the input one, the first one, input 2, which this one. I'll make the value is the global variables. So now I'll see if that variable is really passed to this one or not. Unit testing is 80% of programming. That will save you time, because if you do it without testing the data is really passed, you will spend hours and hours finding where is the mistake. So click there. Now it should load here, and we click, we'll get that variable there. So click on this, you will see this is the ID that represents the other one. Now I need a back button here, I didn't have. What I'll do, let me go back here and click on the caption. There is a small icon here. If I add, then now I can have the back. Let me repeat my test because I want to make sure the right variable being passed, not the same thing every time. So when I put Hamad came, this one ends by 440 something. If I go back and choose John Allen, hopefully John has a different number from is that different? The last one, yes, it's different because this is 44F0, the other one is 444. Now, Dr. Tayyib is different completely. And now this is simply just testing this variable is being passed. Now in the second form, I use the query and find that ID and display it on the form. So becoming just a process of repeating ourselves. Now I have a problem with my screen. That's fine. Let me go to here. So we are in the second page. Now we need to do few things. One is that action that doesn't make sense, which I added here. I want to delete it because it's just for my test. Now the other thing, as we said, we need to create a database service from here. We already created the one called update. And the next one, we need to go to the data. Notice the two services I had on the other page are not appearing here because each page has its own data. So these things are not coming on the second page. Now that to simplify things because they are linked to certain field which is different from the field I'm going to link to here. Anyway, we'll go to the service. I'm looking for the update. Now before the update, I need to do the query. Yeah, what is the query one? I didn't create the query. I need to find the record. So I missed one thing. I did not create a query. So I need to go to database service, and which one I'm working with? This one. Yeah, good. We didn't create query. Go back here, and we need this one to be added. We're missing that one because first we need to find that record which we're working with. So let's import it. Now the query came here. Very good. So now I need to create a service. I need to find the query one. There it is. Add it. Find, we'll call it find contact. Now with the query, this is the only one that I need the two. I need to pass a parameter to that query, and I need to map my database field to my form. So two things I need to do. So before I want to send to my database. So here I need to click on one more thing. By default is not there, the storage. Because this variable has the condition. So I need to link this variable to this. Okay? And then I need just a small code to add here as a JavaScript. So I need to click on the JavaScript, this one, and add a code. Thank you very much. So what that code is a very simple one. I just need to say, return to me the value in that variable. So this is the simple one, which here it is. Okay. What I'm saying, the ID in my table, whatever value coming from this contact ID, the global variables, assign it, match it with the ID. So this one, let me explain it in a different way. Contact ID is the global variables coming. Say if this global variables coming here, matching the ID on the database, then this is the record I want to work with. I may need to repeat this one later, but we'll come back to it. Let's save this one. So that's the one before. Now after we have done this, we need now to map the data to the fields. The name should appear in the text of the name. The phone should appear in the input of the phone. Now this too has been done. Good. Now let's go back to our design and again get to the main form, which the main page, which we have the details page. We have when it show on the screen, do invoke which service, find service. Now it should work perfect, hopefully, inshallah. So it's doing something. Let me see. Okay, it's loading. I think it came here. It came here. So let's go here. Yes, it is there. So you click on anyone, it just go there. Now one thing as a design I have to do. Oh, thank you, Ghazala. You added yours. This is good. This is collaboration, yeah? So from your phone, you also can add more things. Later, we'll create a login screen. So each one will have his different data from someone else. And we'll link it to the table saying this is created by Ghazala. This is what you will get. So from your phone now, you can test it and add more. You can change as well. It's still not yet. We will do that. We'll do the change. Now, one thing I didn't like in this one, you noticed when we started, it came with some data in this one. I think we should leave it like this. Now, if we run it, it's fun. I think student will love it, in my opinion, to start creating some apps and see the database. How you can make it complex later. You put your relation in the tables. You do all the other things you want to do. Yeah, this is fine because it comes empty and then it filled it with the data. Now we're testing the webs on the phone. I think it should look nicer. Now you can test it even if it looks like this or this. And there are different phone view you can change. If it's an iPad mini, I think this iPad, it looks like this. So and you can have some custom size if there are some special phones you creating your application for. Now this is good. Now the last thing we need to do, maybe before the last thing, we'll do the update and then we'll have some discussion. Now we need to do the update. It's again very simple and very easy. What we need to do. So we have the update here, yeah? Okay, so we need to come here and create a surface. Good. Which surface you want to add? We need to add the update. Click on it. We call it update surface. I think like keeping these names as they are, because sometimes will mean something. Okay, so on the update, what we need to do, we actually just sending data to the database, yeah? So we need just to map this one, and that's what we are really mapping, okay? So we mapping the input name. I should have named mine in a better way, but anyway, I didn't name it. So what I can do, it looks all input 1, input 2, and that's it. That's all what we need to do. Now, there's one thing missing is the ID. We want specific ID, yeah? So we're taking this one and mapping it to this one, yeah? So that's what we need. It looks beautiful. Now, who is testing it? Now, it should work unless I lost focus for a few seconds. I don't know why, because I saw an email that I need to action. Okay, so go here and come back and make this one 6 instead of. Oh, one thing we missed here. Yes, we missed one thing, which important that we do. Yeah, which one we change is to go back to the first page. Once we update, we go back to the first page. It's becoming easy for us now, yeah? We know how to do this. We are competing, Ghazala, on changing the data. So go back and go back to the details page, to the design, not the design to here. And we say when it is successful, what we wanted to go, wanted to navigate back to the first start page. Yeah, where I am, I'm in the right place. Okay, that's good. Now if we update, it goes back to the first page, so it becomes more maybe logical sequence. The delete is the easy one. We can do. Let's do this. Did we update yours right, Razala? Maybe see if there's something not working. Oh, something is not working here with the update. The success is not working, and this is the beauty of testing it. It's not doing. Something missing here is our success navigation after is not happening. There is an error happening here in the update. I'm not sure if I need this one now. I'm just confused about that. That's what I said. I lost focus for a few minutes because we're dealing. Oh, that's not the right one. I should use this ID. That's why I'm doing it wrong. So I went to the wrong place. I should use this. Yeah, that's correct, because I used the headers one. I didn't know why I used the header one. That's where it is. Now it should now become working. Okay. So we tried to change yours, Ghazala, did not work, but now it should work. Didn't work as well. Have an error here. I'm not sure what it is, but I'll find out for sure what it is. It's related to my mapping. Let me see if I have done everything right. Let's look. Did we add it to the action? Yes, that's the mistake. We didn't add it to the update. For sure, it will not do. So we need to go here. We'll need to go to invoke service, and then we need to do the update. Because what we're doing was not being active. It's not using it at all because it's just not called. Now we should be fine. It's always good to make mistakes because we learn from the mistakes. Wow. That means you are too fast like this, Ghazala? Huh? Yes, it's working. I don't know why you jumped above John, because I think sorted by mobile or what. I don't know why you came here. There's something I have no explanation for it. Oh, you changed your name as well. Very good. Yeah. So it's working. So if you create a service and you did not update it, you didn't call it, then it will not be active. So two mistakes we made. One is when we mapped the before, we did map the global variables to the wrong place. But we should map it to the ID of the query. And other mistakes we did is we did not call the service on the page when you click on update. Now I will leave to you to do the delete, because the delete is easy. You just delete that record using the ID. Let's have some discussion. What do you think of this system? Will it going to help in teaching, say, databases and basics of databases? Now, the more you can do with the database here, you can explore it yourself. You can look at all these different parameters. I think the basic things are understanding the database concept, understanding the tables and different type of variables, and the importance of primary keys or unique keys and things like that. And there's a few things you can work here on, update and create and do things. That's the basics of it. Now, the more things you can do later, but if it's a programming course, we can go to the server side where you can create really a very advanced sort of coding using object-oriented. You create classes, you create objects, you do all these different things, which you can use using JavaScript. JavaScript is becoming essential now for mobile, for programming. When we started, we were pushing it aside and saying, no, let's use Java, not JavaScript. JavaScript with the HTML5, with the jQuery and other things became very essential component. Most applications now became mobile or web applications, and this is why becoming more important. This your databases, you can create as much as you want. As a database, you can create as much as you want to, as tables, and and that's it. Let's have some discussion now, if you don't mind, on this. I'll stop recording because I think we already have done the recording we need to do.